everybody, and welcome to my review of the Death Wish remake. Remakes, yay, they're always so good. So this new version of Death Wish is a remake of a 1974 Charles Bronson action classic. This time around we have Bruce Willis as the lead character Paul Kersey, who instead of an architect he is now a surgeon. And when a tragedy befalls his wife and daughter, he takes it upon himself to become a vigilante and start dishing out his own brand of justice on the streets because the police just aren't doing enough. So this new version is directed by Eli Roth, who I am a massive fan of. Eli Roth, I would actually say, is a big inspiration in my own filmmaking stuff. When his first film Cabin Fever came out in 2004, I was a huge fan of it, not just of the movie, but of the guy himself. When I looked at all of the behind the scenes things and interviews with him and everything, like, he just seemed like a really cool guy. And I liked it so much I bought 2 copies of it. I have the American version and the Australian version because they had different special features on them. The Australian version had stuff that this one doesn't, this one had stuff that this one doesn't, so I had to have everything. And he of course went on to do the first 2 Hostel movies, which I thought were really good. After that his career started taking a bit of a turn. He produced some okay stuff like a movie called The Sacrament, but his directing just, it didn't go well for him. If you guys have seen the movies Knock Knock with Keanu Reeves and The Green Inferno with who knows, look, those films just weren't good at all, and I was kind of thinking to myself, I'm really starting to lose faith in this guy. So I was hoping that Death Wish was going to be a return to form, a triumphant comeback, much in the same way that M. Night Shyamalan did with The Visit after his career started, going a bit weird. But I'm sorry to say, Death Wish is terrible. I mean, I really walked out of the theater at the end of this feeling like I just completely wasted 2 hours of my life. So for starters, I think the main problem I had with this movie was the dialogue. The dialogue is absolutely terrible. There were so many scenes where I was literally cringing. It was just, there's so much bland, forced exposition where characters are just sitting around telling us what's going on, and they may as well have just turned to the audience and delivered it to us. Just save the time, guys. There were a lot of lines that just made no sense, that were just, I don't even know why they were there. It was really clunky dialogue. The performances were awful. We've got Elizabeth Shue, who plays Bruce Willis's wife in this. Who else? Dean Norris, who is no stranger to playing a cop. If you've watched Breaking Bad, you know who that guy is. Some model named Camilla Maroney, who, from what I know, is best known for having sex with Leonardo DiCaprio. She played the daughter, and she was just really bad. It was one of those cases where it's like, you know what? Stick to modeling. There were a lot of scenes in this film that genuinely felt to me like I was watching a rehearsal or a table reading or something rather than an actual film scene. But I can't blame the actors for the bad performances because realistically it's in the hands of the director. I mean, if an established actor like Bruce Willis or, Elizabeth Shue or whatever, gives a bad performance, you say cut and you talk to them and you go through it and you get them to do better, but this time around it was almost like, okay, cut, that'll do. But on the other side of the spectrum, we've got Vincent D'Onofrio in this as Paul Kersey's brother. And Vincent D'Onofrio cannot do wrong in my book. Seriously, he is one of the best actors alive, and I just love everything this guy is in. And even though the script was utterly garbage, what he did with his role was actually quite good. The action scenes, there really weren't any action scenes in this movie. There were gunfights, but they were instantly forgettable. When you got movies like John Wick, or even some of Robert Rodriguez's early stuff like Desperado, these movies that have these inventive, creative gunfights, this movie was just so bland. We've just seen it all before. There was nothing new to the table in terms of the cinematography, the editing, anything like that. It was just all completely generic, and this movie had so many missed opportunities. We live in a world today where the whole gun debate is such a prominent thing, and I know there's been a lot of controversy with this movie about the time they released it, just after a mass shooting, but let's face it, when can they release this movie? Because there's always going to be mass shootings, and so, you know, it's just one of those things. But this movie had so many opportunities to make a really important social commentary or a political statement, and it tried to do that, but it failed. The first film did it a lot better, whereas this time around, it was just really, they were forcing it on us. Like, you have these scenes where the screen's cut in half, and you've got Paul Kersey on one side saving lives and taking bullets out of people, and on the other side you've got him loading his gun up with bullets and cleaning it and having target practice. And it's like, yeah, you're not really being subtle here with your irony. So I've got to be honest, throughout this movie I was yawning. If I had a watch, I would be checking it constantly. I just couldn't wait for this movie to end, and I'm gonna give Death Wish a 2 out of 10. And I'm only giving it 2 points because Vincent D'Onofrio is awesome, and despite being completely miscast and absolutely awful, the daughter was really hot. So there you go, that's my take on Death Wish. Coming up on my channel soon, I think it's this Friday, I'm hitting my 2-year anniversary on YouTube, so I'm gonna do something for that. I don't know what. I also just realized this morning I'm due for a Blu-ray update, so stay tuned for that. And I've also got another giveaway coming up soon that's gonna tie in with Avengers Infinity War, so stay tuned. And in the meantime, if you've seen Death Wish, let me know what you thought of it. I'm guessing you probably didn't like it, but if you did, I'd love to know why. So drop me some comments either here or on Facebook. All the social media links are in the description below because I like to talk about movies, and I would love to talk about movies with you. I'll catch you next time.
Click subscribe to stay up to date with all the latest movie reviews. Skynet will be taking over any day now, so what have you got to lose? Nyah.